Before this video gets started, I have one question to ask the Pulsechain community. What is it with you and your love for the criminal element? I'll let you answer that at the end of the video. Now let's begin.
Drive slow, homie. Drive slow, homie. You never know, homie. Might meet some hoes, homie. You need to pump your brakes and drive slow, homie. My homie Molly used to stay 79th May. One of my best friends from back in the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce American top gangster, Elijah Christian Peck, aka Almighty, born December 2000, age 23. A Sagittarius that doesn't believe in bow and arrows. Instead, he prefers guns, marijuana, and pills, riding dirty. And since you're all about revealing someone's identity, transaction history, specifically bringing up their past, then it's only fair to expose your darkest secrets. Am I right? And I can't forget the best part, which is, and I quote, "You're a coward because you know what would happen if people knew who you were." So let's show the people who you really are, Elijah. 18-year-old arrested in Nocatee with guns, marijuana, pills, and a car. A Neptune Beach man was arrested Saturday night in Nocatee on multiple guns and drug charges. Elijah Peck, 18, was pulled over near the intersection, Palm Valley and Davis Park roads, after a deputy found the car's tag was not assigned to the vehicle and driving 30 miles per hour in some areas at 10:45 p.m., according to the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office arrest report. The report said that Peck told the deputy there was marijuana in the car. Inside the car, deputies found 2 rifles in a trunk, a handgun near the center console, 270 grams of marijuana, 84 pills, and scales. The deputy also found $1,200 in counterfeit cash, the report said. Peck was charged with 3 counts of possessing a firearm as a Florida delinquent adult, a count of possessing 10 or more counterfeit bills, 1 count of carrying a concealed firearm, and a charge of using or displaying a firearm during a felony. He received additional charges of public nuisance or structure for drug activity, possession of marijuana with intent to sell, possession of drugs with intent to sell, and drug possession and or use. Peck did not receive a bond on a probation violation. Got him! Now he claims to be a reformed man after getting out of prison. Although he's hidden his identity and goes by his middle name Christian to avoid suspicion of his past being exposed, many forgiving people would think he's learned his lesson and that he's a young man and made only one mistake. Certainly he's not a career criminal. Well, I regret to inform you. I'm going to read his rap sheet, his entire criminal history. Since the man loves the spotlight so much, let's let his track record shine bright like a diamond. His first offense, September 28, 2017, age 16. He was caught with no valid driver's license, and it was classified as a second-degree misdemeanor. His second offense, December 15, 2019, as an adult at the age of 18, he was arrested and sentenced to prison for the following: possessions of counterfeited money, public order crimes, possessions of weapon, drug-equipped possessions, weapon offense, marijuana possessions, drug possessions, carrying concealed weapons, criminal felony, first-degree felony, and the icing on the cake, since he's such a changed man, he just received another strike for expired tags over 6 months. Talk about a man who claims to be a baller. I thought you had money in crypto. I thought you made fun of people who were brokies. Here he is in September 2023, running into the law yet again in Bradford County Court. So now that we've revealed him to be a career criminal, the question I have for the community is, should Elijah Peck be trusted or respected for the continuous lies, in which he claims his only offense was in 2019, but the receipts show his criminal career started in 2017, and his most recent offense was in September 2023? If you answered no, then you are correct, because we're using his own logic, quoting him, trying to cancel me. In fact, why are we giving him a platform with his criminal track record? He's shown he hasn't changed or learned anything. See, when it comes to criminals like him, there is no honor amongst thieves, especially when they snipe you. Roll the clip.
I'm not personally participating in trying to snipe stuff. I just simply do not have the time. I don't have the time. I couldn't care less
Really
about
easy.
trying to do any of that. Simple question. Does V3 liquidity stop people from being able to snipe?
Fuck no.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
It's a lot and a finesse, bro. Because I know, because I've done trial and error by myself. Like I'd go make us something and try to snipe it, and it still works, bro. And plus, we've sniped hella V3 on 9mm, and then if you look at the 9mm token, that shit got sniped.
There's no shame in lying, especially if you forget to delete your tweets. Roll the clip.
Been in Pulsechain since launch. Been in Hex since probably like 30 cents on the way down. So that's when I got into Hex. Got wrecked on Hex, I'm not gonna lie. I used to be Almighty Hex skin, and then, you know, I changed my name just Almighty.
And a leopard never changes its spots, especially criminals. Roll the clip.
You just tell us a little bit about yourself. You could generally background in crypto, kind of that stuff, and maybe even what got you into wanting to start building like tokens.
Background in crypto, and I said this in a coexistence stream. But basically was buying Bitcoin for dark web reasons, and then realized like, oh, I was buying a couple $100 Bitcoin.
I want to know about what your journey is into Pulsechain. So what actually got you into crypto and what got you into Pulsechain?
Crypto, Pulsechain sacrifice. Well, I bought Bitcoin early, not cool early, just earlier than the normal crowd. Was buying on Cash App. Didn't really understand what was going on, how things are doing. I actually used the dark web pretty early. I won't talk about that, but using Bitcoin obviously, and so that kind of got me to So when I saw Bitcoin, right, I was buying things on the dark net, for cheap Bitcoin, and then I come back 3-4 years later and I see, whoa, it's way more expensive. So what I bought was way cheaper. So I was like, wow, I didn't know the asset actually went up in price. So that's when it clicked for me. Started buying Bitcoin still on Cash App, just on the phone, makes it easy, whatever. Fast forward, right? Now I'm ultimately not necessarily having to work construction anymore, right? These same guys kind of have me employed to just do crypto. So it's interesting. I get paid to actually do crypto now instead of work hard. And I'm, at a young age, that seems pretty successful.
So was that basically, so when did you actually get into Bitcoin? When would you say you actually got into it and started purchasing it actively?
2016, 2015,
Oh, wow.
probably late 2015.
Wow.
But
Okay, so-
like I said, not in an investment way. So it didn't really matter. It was money that just poof, gone.
If he started scamming in real life using counterfeit money, then imagine how many test liquidity tokens him and his friends Giga and Gibson Sailu have launched and rug pulled. The point is, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Why would anyone give this man a platform to promote his poop coins when he has burnt bridges within the community itself? Although he has failed multiple businesses, he is now calling himself the youngest founder on Pulsechain. If people were to hold him accountable collectively, like we do in real life, then it would stop criminals like Elijah Peck from ever grifting or scamming your communities. Let me remind you all, for those who will still defend this man-child, of his past. 1, I'm using his logic. So when he used 50 sock puppet accounts to try to cancel me because everyone called him a simp, he didn't go after them or that woman he was harassing. He came after the boogeyman. 2, he continues to show how petulant he is even after prison. He hasn't changed or taken any accountability. He's very emotional and impulsive. This is due to the lack of no fatherhood figure in his life. And 3, the man was arrested several times in the span of 6 years, from 2017 to 2023. Florida has a 3-strike rule, and you struck out 14 times. You're out. He's not honest or good. Just because you do good things doesn't make you a good person, especially if you keep getting arrested for the same crimes. And he only mentioned 1 arrest on his timeline, but he forgot about the other 13. People like him bank on richer heart to succeed with Pulsechain because anonymity and money doesn't change you. It only amplifies who you really are. So I asked the question again. Why do you support criminals so much? The life he lives is a death style, and there's a saying, birds of a feather flock together. Not once have I ever scammed anyone, launched a sacrifice, ran a paid group, or promoted pump and dumps. And the only people who are offended that I serve the community with free content and give a voice of reason are those who left negative comments about me on this criminal's post. So, if you're going to cancel me, understand it would contradict you being on Pulsechain for freedom of speech. And if the community is wondering why Pulsechain gets gatekept, or why it's harder to onboard exchanges and networks, It's because we've allowed these criminals a platform and the damage has already been done. They've stolen your money and used these platforms to engage in drama. So shouldn't we be trying to decrease interactions with these people that support criminals like Elijah Peck? And why would that be a problem? See, I don't think it's about bringing adoption to Pulsechain for them. It's always been about clicking up in these go-along, get-along gangs while stealing your money. None of these influencers care about the community, because if they did, then they would be addressing these issues and not me. It's not a good look for Pulsechain, by the way, giving these criminals the influence to harass women, stalk individuals, and the pot calling the kettle black. You see, it's easier for him to be a criminal than it is for him to walk a straight and narrow. There's nothing cool about being the youngest loser on the blockchain, especially one that's stupid enough to get caught 14 times. Because until this community stands their ground to put a stop to these grifters, scammers, and criminals, then we're going to keep having people like Almighty infiltrate and eventually destroy what you've built. And so a final message to you, Elijah. You wanted the smoke? You got it. You have 24 hours after this video goes live to apologize to the community and redact your statements about me. And if you don't remove my content, then be careful what you wish for. So drive slow, homie.
Yeah. Drive slow, homie. Drive slow, homie. You never know, homie. Might meet some hoes, homie. You need to pump your brakes and drive slow, homie. Drive slow, homie.